Ever since this incumbent governor of Oyo State said he was going to become president, I think he ruffled feathers. I think he raised dust. I think he troubled waters. And so those people were not willing to just let it go. That's why it's so easy to look at this conversation from the lens of politics, that this is all political. He probably doesn't want to have anything to do with Sheyi. I'm talking about President Tinubu.
Welcome to the Break Live.
Right. Good morning to you this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Anne. And just like we said in the intro, we are looking at the statement of the not the former now. Yeah, it was the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, now the presidential candidate of NDC, that's Peter Obi, who alleged that up until now, the president is yet to give Governor Seyi Makinde a call. And then, you know, when someone like Peter Obi decide to say something like that, he's popular, he has the supporters, there will definitely be people who agree with him and people who don't. But I remember that a few weeks back, I think it was a weekend like that, Governor Seyi Makinde visited the scene, the community where it happened. And I remember that the husband of the principal in Abduction was there as well. And then at some point he was talking and he could not hold it any longer. He busted into tears, and the governor had to pat him on the back and things like that. And there was also an elderly woman who complained about three of her grandchildren in abduction as well. And I remember shortly after that, the presidency also sent a delegate to that scene, to the community as well. And then so many persons were asking questions. Why is it that the presidency is just sending delegate? Why is it that the governor just visited that scene or that community today? I mean, that day when it happened. And then away from that, for people who agree with Peter Obi, they're asking questions. That why is it that there's no synergy between the presidency and the state government? Speaking about Makinde. And Peter Obi also made reference to the fact that when the Chibok situation happened, the current president, our President Bola Tinubu, was part of those who criticized the former president, that's Goodluck Jonathan, that he did not communicate with the governor of that state, during that period. And so he's saying that why is it so difficult for him to actually reach out to the governor, ask him questions and things like that. And then for people who do not agree with Peter Obi, they're asking questions. Is it possible that the governor did not even brief the president about what happened? So we are talking about people who are for that statement and people who are not for that statement. But then beyond all of this, I think what we need is synergy between the presidency and the state government. Because I remember this lack of synergy between the state government and the presidency did not start with the abduction of the girls. I remember there was a media chat in Ibadan last December, and then the governor said a lot. He mentioned, I supported the president in the last election. I'm not willing to support him. It's quite obvious that something went wrong. They used to have a very good relationship, but really cannot tell what happened. So this is the conversation this morning. We really should not be going back and forth. The governor did not brief the president did not call. It's been 51 days after the abduction. Can we talk about rescuing these people? Because beyond all of this argument, the most important thing is to get these people out of the den of the kidnappers, basically.
Yeah, I think you've made valid points, and I think it's also good to look at it from different lenses. One lens that is common in this conversation will be the political lens. How do you view this? You view this through the political lens. And when you do that, the first thing that comes to mind is because the incumbent administration in Oyo State is a PDP governor, and the incumbent administration at the federal level is an APC government, definitely they might not be in touch as much as they should, which is not making an excuse for them, because that is institutionally wrong. If there's no synergy, like I said, if there's no coordination, if there's no communication between them, especially in times when they need to communicate. And so that's a conversation, that's a problem we have on our hands. But again, maybe just to move it away from there, and I'm not speaking in proxy, I'm not holding brief for the president, but one thing is sure, that the Nigerian Constitution does not prescribe that the president must contact the state governor within a specified time after a security collapse. There's nowhere in the Constitution that is written that there has to be that form of communication between the president straight down to the governor. However, it is expedient for anybody at the presidential level to speak to a state coordinator, which is in this case a governor, directly when there are cases of insecurity, especially beyond the capacity of the state. So I think it is very important that we state that, yes, although the Constitution does not say that you must speak within a specified time to the governor, common sense would tell us that there should be a working relationship, a working communication channel between the two. Because I mean, even if the president is not willing to speak about it, why don't the governor also make an attempt to say, oh, hello, sir, there's something like this? Because remember the case of the explosion in Bodija. It was said that the governor at the time spoke to the president. So it wasn't really a thing of, I'm expecting him to talk to me. It was a thing that, yeah, this is a national disaster. I'm going to speak to the president about this. And then they had conversations about, wow, maybe 50 million or 30 billion, whatever amount they were fighting about. But that's not even the conversation is, was there a communication that was established when that happened? Yes. Should there be a communication that should be established when something like this happened? Yes. But what is the case? Maybe politics. And that would mean that ever since this incumbent governor of Oyo State said he was going to become president, I think he ruffled feathers. I think he raised dust. I think he troubled waters. And so those people were not willing to just let it go. That's why it's so easy to look at this conversation from the lens of politics, that this is all political. He probably doesn't want to have anything to do with Sheyi. I'm talking about President Tinubu. He doesn't want to have anything to talk to him about. And he feels like maybe you run it through other channels. Because after Sheyi's visitation, just about some hours after, a delegation, a high-level delegation came from the federal level as well to the state, to local government. And that was also a conversation. But again, Peter Obi's claim is actually a good one, because he's also experienced, remember when he was a governor in his state, he made references to when the president at the time was trying to have conversations. Like, they had constant communication. It wasn't a thing of, oh yeah, because you don't belong to my party, because you don't belong to the interest group that I belong to, then we will not talk. So it wasn't a thing of that. It was a thing of the established communication, even though they might not agree on the same things or many factors or many decisions in the country. But again, I think it's made a good call, and I think this call, if anybody were to make it, should be the opposition, which I think is one of the ways we can improve any government. To improve a government, we need the opposition to play the party politics and the opposition politics, I meant to say, and to play it right, to call them to order, to speak truth to power, to question authorities, to say, you guys are not accountable in this way. Can we call you to accountability? Can you do things right? If you have not spoken to somebody in 50 days or 51 days, it shows that whatever the case is, whether or not you think you don't agree with them politically, it shows that you don't really care about the people that the person is also serving, because it is not about the interest of that person or your interest. It is now about the people you people are serving. And if I think we can't overflog it, or sometimes it sounds like we are beating a dead horse. Because our politicians don't know that they are serving the people. And if you are a leader is first a servant. And by that, it means that regardless of your preferences, your interests, and what is at stake for you as a person, the first thought, the first priority, the first prerequisite to doing anything or making a decision should be the people. Your responsibility should be to the people. Your interest should be to the people you govern. And if you don't do that, then you fail to stand in that role. You fail to be called a leader. A leader first looks at the people he's serving and then helps them beyond political interest, beyond preferences. And that's what I'm saying, that of course you might as well say, well, he must have communicated through some channels, but we're also expecting that the president, because we know from time immemorial, if a president comes to speak over an issue, then there's a bit of calm. People get to know that, oh yes, the president is aware, the president is trying to work, because we know that's the highest power when it comes to the nation. So if we have the highest power overlooking the affairs of our state or nation, then it makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. And it's not even just to Sheyi Makinde now, it's also to the people of Oyo State and the generality of the Nigerian people. Well, I'll also say that historically, this might not have been the case for many presidents. You know, talking about President Olusegun Obasanjo, Mario Busayado, and Goodluck Jonathan. I think they've had cases where they directly, in no time, communicated. And I think if you, like you said, that Tinubu once said that if a president is not communicating, especially over the Chibok issue, and then maybe we should call the president to remember his words, that you once said these things. And I think it's a good thing to also do what you say, not just say the things you think is right, but also do the right things that you say. And I think that's integrity. But again, I would like to say that the speed of response is something that would invest what we call public confidence in any government institution. If there's a response to situations and it's very rapt, it's very urgent, it's very concise, I mean it makes a lot of sense to people. And again, if it will improve what we call intergovernmental coordination, as well as visible leadership. So if there's no leadership and there's no coordination between leadership structures and party lines and leadership lines in the country, sometimes I wonder where we are going, because the road is not looking clear for the country. If we can say because of politics I'm not speaking to Peter Obi, because of politics I'm not speaking to this person, when there's a crisis in the state, I'm afraid we are headed towards a nosedive.
Exactly. I think you've made a very valid point, and then we should not lose focus, which is ensuring that we get the children out of the den of the kidnappers. And then it's a fine place to leave this discussion this morning. I want to believe that the necessary authorities, will make sense of this argument, not just argue, but then find solutions to the problem. We take a short break, and when we come back, we move on to newspaper headlines and analysis. We'll be right back.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram at Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominioncast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.